Thank you to all my channel members, including my fan appreciation level members and my contributor level members, for helping support the YouTube channel. Hello, and welcome to my channel. My name is Jonathan Cohn, and today I have my book review of the book Homeguard by Jason Cordova. This is actually the fourth book in his Kin Wars Saga, which I've read through this summer. I started with book one, Wraithkin, loved it. And then I read Darkling, loved it. And then I most recently, last month, read Death Lords, and I loved it. And so Jason Cordova just is having a terrific run of books, in my opinion. I also read one of his Bane books that was great, two of his Bane books that were great. So I am just a huge fan of his. And so when I got to Homeguard, I was very excited. This is the fourth and final released book in the series, although he has books 5 and 6 that he plans to do. Jason, please release book 5, please, I'm begging you. But he has books 5 and 6 to release eventually, but this is book 4, the last one released. And it was when I was reading this book, then I finally realized that's why it's called the Kin Wars Saga. I should have figured this out way earlier. But the basic premise for this series, if you don't know, it's kind of military sci-fi with political thriller sci-fi to it. It is about this family, the Espinosa family, and different members of the Espinosa family are basically have different roles. One of them, Gabriel, he is the member of the family that is the soldier. He has become an elite fighter. He has been trained first to become a Wraithkin, then to become a Darkling. And so he is, and this elite commander, this elite soldier, they're their top fighting force. And he wears this special armor that he's connected to and all this stuff. Then you have his brother Andrew, who is both a spy and a politician. Andrew, in his capacity to become a spy in this series, has actually assumed the persona of a politician and now is serving as a politician. And then you have Andrew's girlfriend, who is Christine, who is also a spy, and she is now working with different agencies and different groups to try to avert this war that's happening, the Kin Wars, which is between the two princes who are vying for this throne of this universe. You have the emperor who died in a previous book, and his daughter he left behind, and so these two princes are left. His daughter died, and so these two princes, who neither one was supposed to be the emperor yet, but the two of them are now suddenly the thrust into being in this war for the empire. And there's, one side of the politicians that are backing one of them and one side backing the other. It's causing this war. And so really what the Espinosa family is trying to do is trying to like avert the war by like providing like a middle path, is essentially what they're doing. And so you follow like a political thriller storyline, a spy thriller storyline, and a military sci-fi storyline with this book and this series. And all of them are written very well. I've talked about this in my previous reviews, but Jason Cordova just really understands how to do pacing in his books. All of his books, I breeze through them. They're such an entertaining read. And all of his books, I really connect with the characters. I think that the story is great and the pacing's great. Everything he does, great. And usually he's exploring some interesting themes. There's themes about the role of government, the role of military. There's themes about the caste system here. There is one little girl in this series who is the child of one of our main characters, and she has these kind of magical powers because she was experimented on by these insectoid type creatures. Not insectoids, this alien type creature. Anyway, and so she has these kind of magical powers. And so there's a point in this book where that little girl starts experimenting with her powers and she gets into one of the Wraithkin or Darkling suits. It is a hilarious sequence. I loved it. The little girl who is fast growing up in the series is just delightful. And the book ends, and I'm like, I can't wait to see what they do next. Every book in this series, he kills off someone. Jason always is killing off someone near and dear to my heart in the books. And I won't tell you who killed off in the previous books, and I won't tell you who he kills off in this book. But man, he got me. He got me with the end because I was going through the whole book and I was like, no one's died, no one's died, no one's died. Maybe we've broken the cycle, Jason. And then, darn it, he doesn't break the cycle. Instead, he does that to us. Why? Why, Jason? Why? And so it was so frustrating, but it was so beautifully written. Also, this book has some fantastic twists. In chapter 3 in particular, there are just some incredible twists. I would say 2 major twists in the same chapter, in the same viewpoints, where the main character, not the main character, the character in that chapter, Christine, is going to meet someone, finds out who it is, which was a huge twist, and then something happens to her that was a huge twist, and I was like, oh my goodness, I can't believe I'm reading this. This is just amazing. And Jason just had me hooked just for so much of this book. I will say the weakest part of this book is the opening chapter. The opening started, and I was like, Jason, what are you doing? What are we doing here? And I was a little bit nervous for the beginning. The first chapter of this book, I was like, I don't know. And then it picked up in book chapter 2, and book 3 onward was just peak storytelling. I don't use that phrase often, but it's peak. Jason just writes the way I like my fiction to be. I mean, obviously there's some things I don't like that he does, but as a whole, he writes books the way I want them to be written. He writes entertaining stories that are purely entertaining, that explore deep themes but don't feel preachy. It's just so much fun, and I just love this whole series. And I will continue recommending it to people. It's from Chris Kennedy Publishing. I know that they come in ebook form and print, and I think audio. I'm not sure about audio, but I love it. And as soon as he announces book 5, I will really read it day of. I will put down whatever I'm reading, no matter what, to read it because I'm so excited to read book 5 because it's such a good series. And I think it is the best pitch. If you're kind of interested, if my pitch didn't sell you, this is what I'll say. It's got elements of like a Timothy Zahn Cobra series and the way that the military works. It's got elements of the Conquerors, Timothy Zahn's Conquerors trilogy, in the way that the Espinosa family is like the Kavanaugh family in that series. It also has elements of like Halo, particularly in the first book, and a little in the second, I would say, but mostly in the first book, it's got some elements that are similar to Halo. And then I would also say that it mixes in the Star Wars politics that became popular in the prequels and in the Andor TV show. And this book series came out before Andor, but there's scenes in this book series that like mirror Andor, the political scenes in Andor with Mon Mothma so well. And I'm like, how did you perfectly get that? So if you like the Star Wars politics stuff, if you like Timothy Zahn's science fiction Cobra Conqueror stuff, and you like Halo, I think meshed together, that's what you get here, and it's pretty darn good. So I highly recommend this series, and I'm so sad I don't have more, but I will be reading more Jason Cordova, because out of the 6 books I've read of his, I've loved all 6 of them. All 6 of them have been amazing. So he is a terrific writer. And in fact, some ways gets better and better with each book. So that's my review of Homeguard. If you've read this book series, let me know your thoughts on it. And what similar series did you recommend to me? And let me know your thoughts on Jason Cordova's other books. And in the comments section, please subscribe to the channel. And until next time, I'm Jonathan. And thank you for watching.